Hello, I'm Dr. Joe Schneider with the Hope Brain and Body Recovery Center, and I have with me Linda, who's been a patient in the office, and we've accomplished some great things with her, and we're going to let her explain what she's been through and this journey she's been on with her health.
Okay. And so I met Dr. Joe, met you, after 2.5 years of having sciatica, and it came on. It came on as started as what I thought was piriformis syndrome, and
So sciatica is low back pain with pain radiating down your leg,
down my leg,
right to your foot.
yeah, sometimes to the point where I could hardly even walk.
I hardly even walk.
Could not walk, or I would come home and lay on the floor in the fetal position. Yeah, so that's kind of how my day went.
So you went to like really several doctors.
Oh, so I can, the list starts with an orthopedic surgeon to a neurosurgeon to pain management to physiatrist. On my own, did chiropractic, acupuncture, I'd done the original Rolfing series and completed the last 4, which you do 9+ months later. I had done PRP, prolotherapy, stem cells, bone therapy. I've also done dry needling, laser, ART, and I might have missed a few. But anyway, I had twice surgery was a suggested option, and on the second time it was suggested, I just moved completely into alternative options. And in my alternative option journey, I probably spent close to $50,000, and still found myself sitting here with no pain, but numbness in my foot, to the point where I could not stand wearing a shoe and sock most times. Like it just was like I just had to take them off.
So when those nerves numb, actually numbness feels like pain. So you start getting a numbness and tingling.
Right.
When you use it too much, it starts to irritate
it feels like it's in a compression band, and it just wants to explode, and so I have to take everything off of it.
Get rid of it, right?
Well, I found myself in the car trying to take my shoe and sock off, driving 55 miles an hour. It's a challenge.
So she's been through everything, and then you came to my office.
Yeah. And I was telling you my story about my abbreviated last 2.5 years of my life. And you sat there and just said to me, do you know your left eye chatters, the side of your face droops, and your neck, your vein in your neck pulsates when you talk. And as soon as you said that, and I hadn't said anything to you, it reminded me of when I had a severe concussion 34.5 years ago in a triathlon, hit the ground head first at 40 miles an hour, came off my bike. Unfortunately, it stopped and I didn't. And one of the things that was a result, I remember having vision problems. And not that they were ever solved, because in those days they just said go wear glasses or something, which didn't help at all. But as soon as you said that, I was like, I had a concussion. And I get them pretty easily now, so I've actually had more than one, but that was the first major one.
Very typical that once you have that first concussion, that you seem like you're always hitting your head or something always happens.
Usually always with a bicycle too.
Bicycles too. Well, I have a couple of falls
and
from
I wear
bicycles.
helmets.
They're kind of like the worst, because you're right. You go 40 miles an hour and you're really traveling pretty fast.
Yeah.
So she's gone through all these things. She came to the office, and we were able, through working on her brain and working on her low back and foot, and her brain, the low back and her foot, to finally get her to a point where, how do you feel?
Feel awesome.
Feel awesome, yeah? Okay.
I do, yeah. So I have, in fact, when I was driving here, I didn't know we were doing this, but I was driving, I was thinking, I don't have any numbness. So that seems to have gone by the wayside. I have no pain in my piriformis area. And I'm back running. After only a couple weeks running, I did a 5K and won my age group, and then
We're going to do a half marathon in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, just under 2 weeks.
Just under 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'm excited.
And she sends me all her training runs,
I do.
and she's doing phenomenal through every run. So that's really kind of a joy for us to get that back for you,
Yeah,
and to get you back to your life and running. So what kind of emotional roller coaster have you been through with?
So the last 34 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so I guess the way I put it is that I wish I was better earlier. Yeah. So. Sorry. So it's been I really feel like I got my life back. You know. I got yeah, I don't, before I used to, I didn't know, in fact, when I came here, I didn't realize I didn't talk about my concussion, because I was always trying to hide it, because you know, there are just certain things that like underneath I knew I didn't do very well, right? So it was interesting, I interviewed for a board position, and they said, you know, you're very, very calm, you know, like very, very calm. And I was always calm outward because I just wasn't able to control myself. So, and then of course when I got home, my husband usually got the wrath of it, or sometimes my kids, but I would let things out. But yeah, so I was just emotionally unbalanced. I didn't even know it. I just thought that's the way it was. I didn't know what had caused it. I didn't know why it was like that, and I don't really remember how I was before. So, because when I was with a concussion, I was literally thrown back to about 2.5 years old. So, ate food with my fingers and very limited speech. You know, you could hand me change and ask me to buy a stamp, and I would have, and I did. I looked at it and I could just put the change down on the counter.
Getting through that is really, really difficult, and you really did a marvelous job. Getting through that and having a family and so forth. Yeah, I had a family afterwards and had 2 beautiful children, but what I have now is like I just have the ability to be open and be out with people and be myself. And again, it's just like I don't get upset with things the way I used to, and you know, I'm happy. I laugh now. I didn't even realize I didn't laugh, you know, and yeah, I feel like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders, and I'm just free to be. Free to be. Yeah. I can't imagine when she first came in, she was smiling, and she has smiled more and more every time. I can't imagine that you went through all that time without this beautiful inner self coming out. No, I hid myself. Yeah. Yeah, and because I never wanted people to, it's almost like it just became a way of being. I didn't want people to know. Like if I were to get upset or get very stressed, I could look at you and not know your name. And I know I knew your name, and I used to have a name game I'd play, and I'd go through the letters of the alphabet till I get your first letter, and then I'd be able to try to get the second one because there's only so many options. But literally, I spent 34 years with a name game, so. And so I never wanted to I just like boxed myself in to protect myself, I guess. I didn't even know it. I just thought that was the way life was. Well, when I had my first concussion, I had one in 2004, and it was pretty severe. I went to a party. I watched a football game, and I didn't know anybody in the room. So I know what you're feeling, right? I didn't know anybody's name, and I knew these people for 20 years. Like they were just there with me all the time. And I said, "Oh my God, I don't know their name." And you're right. It's frightening. Because you know their name. Yeah. And you just like all of a sudden you don't have it. I mean, that was just one of the things. And the other is that, you know, I would, you know, kind of like seem really calm, and then something would happen, and I would just blow up, and literally blow up. And well, that's very common for traumatic brain injury, and very, very common. You've been through so much, and you've come out so wonderfully.
Mm.
Okay, I'm glad that I know you
Yeah.
as
I
not
know
only a
you
patient,
too.
as a
It's been
friend,
life altering.
and as a friend, and thank you for coming in
Yeah.
and to telling your story, and hopefully someone will see this. It will get them to finally take a step to come into our office, because we do incredible work. I do incredible work because I've had a number of concussions and I had a stroke, and the idea of recovering from that, I've been through the same struggles that you have, and so I've learned so much from my injuries and my stroke. I probably wouldn't be here at this point unless I had gone through that myself. So thanks very much, Linda. All right.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
I gave
Wave
my
to
life
everybody.
back.
Half marathon in under 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and she's going to do just marvelous. So if you're going to a half marathon in 2 weeks, which one is it?
I'm going to the New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. It's up in North Jersey.
All right. If you're in her age group, she's gonna kill you.
All right. Hopefully.
Hopefully.